Welcome back to part 3. If you remember, I had an animated header. If we go into the header itself and have a look, I've got the header, it's all the action, text, buttons for setting up for sign in and login, and the action scripts to handle those actions. At the bottom I have my base layer, which is the header itself. If we go into that, I've got an action script and header again. If I go show in library, you'll notice all it is a background JPEG. And if we open up the action script, you can see it's a loader. Reason being is because the header in this file is only a JPEG of the header, but the actual header is an external Swift that loads in. The reason I do this is so that you can still have access to the header functions. The main page will load quicker because it's not bulked up by video, and the video will load in its own time in the background. The video is not important for the functioning of the page, it's just there for a static view, so it can load in its own time. And so you see something there, you have a JPEG of the same, and then when it loads in, it removes the JPEG and replaces it with the video. It's the same sort of loader that you use when loading in your website or any other page, and you can add them in at the same time. Back on the main navigation section, you'll notice that on the main navigational line, all of these have got red flags. If I click on the first one and come down here, you'll see label name underscore home. Basically, I've given that frame a label. Now, the reason why I do that is I give all my navigational frames labels, especially if you're in multiple levels on a site or program. If you just say go to and stop frame 1 or frame 2 or such, you could get unstuck with navigating because there are umpteen frame 1s and frame 2s. It's better for the program and for you to be able to see what you're doing and where you're going if you give your frames that you're navigating to a frame label. As example here, I have a listener for the home button and the function, and it's got here movie clip in brackets parent close bracket go to and stop, and in the section here where it's navigating to the home section, whereas in the previous examples it was navigating to a number which was a frame number. This is still a frame, but it is now a frame name. Another thing you'll notice is it's not just a simple go to and stop, it's a movie clip navigating parent and parent. Basically, with this in place, where this button is located, you're going to be jumping up 2 levels and navigating to the home section, which will be this one here. Another thing would be like this, which is a multiple navigation. When you click your button, the function would do 3 things. You go up 2 levels, and in a text field, which this one will be my text.text, will be you press button 1 as an example. At the same time that it is going up 2 levels and putting this into the text field, it'll be going up 1 level and going to the screen _MC and stopping at frame 1. At that very same time, it'll be going into that movie clip, navigating to the video movie clip, and going to and playing on frame 2. You can have as many of these functions as you want in, well, not functions, as many navigations and tasks as you want in a particular function, but you need to make sure that the code is displaying at all times. What I mean by that is, I shall show you now. Let's say in this menu here I want to navigate, which is my main navigation, obviously. I'll navigate to my YouTube player window. Now it's simple enough to navigate to my YouTube window because it's a simple one-off item. But let's say I wanted to go into it, such as this. Go into here and perhaps change or load or do something here, or perhaps in the main window navigate or do something in this main window. Now theoretically that is possible, but practically it is not. Reason being is the left menu is no longer giving information. The only information it will see is the go to and stop at the video frame. Once it stops, the action script is no longer being read. If it's no longer being read, it doesn't know what else to do. So you can't then navigate in. If you had that exact same thing, say, on this one, because your menu is still here, you'd be able to navigate to this frame, then you'd be able to navigate into it and do something inside of it. So you need to take into account when doing navigation that your action script will be running continuously up until it has finished its task. And lastly, as a visual aid, an example of layers, what I shall do is I shall take the left menu layer and I shall move it down to just underneath the navigational layer, and I shall temporarily move that offside, and I shall run it and test it, and you shall see. Now the reason I have moved this one off is so you can see the navigational window. If I click on any of these now, you'll notice they still work, but they are underneath. If I manage to navigate to one of them, I can't navigate to anything else now because it's stuck on that frame. But I do have the home button, which will take me back to the first frame, and you can see all these are stuck underneath. And that's a very good example of how layers can affect how things are laid out. I hope all this gives you an insight into assembling a website or web program or any sort of Flash-based item. If there's any other inquiries or you want to know something, just leave a note. Thank you very much.